I already addressed this comment already. That's what I was saying with apostate. He actually was quoting this, and I was saying that no, someone without a period is not a girl. Now, two things with this type of mentality that's really icky. One, the idea that women are people with periods is pedophilic. And two, the idea that a woman cannot have, can be infertile and not be considered a girl, basically, and you're basically saying that she must be a girl because she's infertile, is misogynistic. So you have a frame of mind that is very offensive and also very dangerous. Okay, so why do I say that? Because specifically, you can't say that anyone with a period is a woman. You're basically saying that 12-year-olds are women on average. Because the average woman starts her period as a girl who is 12 years old, around 12 to 14. And it's gotten earlier than it used to be. Long ago, in some countries, it was actually on average that a woman would start her period around 17. So even if you were to say someone didn't start their period, it would not indicate that they were a child. Okay, if someone's dealing with delayed puberty, they could easily start their period at 18 or 19 or even 20, especially long ago when the average age for people to start their period was 17. So if that was the average age back then to start their period at 17, there are many places where you could start your period at 20 or so. And you may have a situation where you got married at 18 and you did not have your period. Are you not a woman still because you don't have your period yet? See, your way of thought is backwards and it's not consistent because it's a caveman mentality. If it bleeds, it's a woman. Like, seriously, come on now. That is just so backwards. That's not how it is. And that's why in the Quran, it specifically does not say that. That's why, so you can see here, the age of marriageable age has to coincide with the maturity of your mind, your emotional maturity, having to do with your development of your brain, not having to do with whether you have a period or not. Now, it's misogynistic to say that women who don't have periods are somehow girls because they're infertile. That's not the case, you know. So those are two reasons why, this is not talking about pedophilia, because specifically, as everyone can see, and in every quote that everyone's made on this verse, basically, as specifically, people have specifically continuously said women, which implies women with no period. Yes, there are women with no period. I don't understand why people are not aware that there are women without periods. And I don't understand why people don't know that obviously there's delayed puberty as well. But either way, that was my whole point. I specifically have addressed this over and over and over and over and over again. That specifically, this is not talking about children, it is talking about women, as you stated yourself. When girls are mentioned, the Quran mentions girls, okay? And there's no problem with mentioning girls, but girls are not women, okay? And like I said, girls can have periods too. Most women start their period as girls, okay? So you can't say that someone is a woman because they started their period. And if you do, you're one of those type of people who believe in hurting innocent children who just happen to be starting their period. You fervently believe that 12 to 14-year-old children on average in America who start their period are basically adults who can be taken advantage of by older men. And in the Quran, it specifically shows that you have to have a mental maturity for marriage. And we all know that the brain develops completely, functionally, at around 25. So you would have to be close to 20 to be able to consent to marriage. Someone who is 12 to 14 who has their period would not be able to consent. Whether someone is 18 or 19 or 20, whether they're infertile or fertile, they have the mental wherewithal to be able to consent to marriage. And that's why the Quran specifically doesn't talk about people's periods as in a defining moment when they can get married, but actually whether you have the mental maturity to marry. That's what matters in the Quran. So please try again, I guess, but you're not going to find anything in the Quran. I've read it 37 times. I am not going to, I didn't lie about the Quran. I know what it says. There's no support for pedophilia. Now, the Hadith does support pedophilia, and it seems like you are in concurrence with them that you think that people who have their periods early should be violated sexually by grown men, basically. I am very much against this because I was one of those kids, okay? I was 8 when I started puberty, okay? And people like you would basically advocate for people like me to be raped and to be violated by older men because I started my period earlier. If you knew something about women and how some women start their periods as young as 3 years old, as 3-year-old girls, some start their periods as 20-year-old women. It depends on the woman. So you can't say that periods define whether you're a woman or not. Some women never get their periods. They are infertile. There's nothing wrong with a woman being infertile. There's nothing wrong with a man marrying a woman who's infertile. You're almost acting like it's sick or something for a man to marry a woman who's infertile or hasn't gone through puberty. That's not how it is. People can choose to be with people who are their soulmates and look past the superficial things like puberty that, someone may be more attracted to this type of body or something. Some people actually marry for love, and they see beyond the fact that someone didn't go through puberty, and they love that person and they want to spend their life with that person. So yeah, that's all I have to say in this. Is like, I have already addressed this. This is not about children, it's about women who have not gotten their periods. Some who have not gotten their periods because it's through delayed puberty, and they may not get their period until they're older, like they're 20 or 21 or something, and they're married maybe at 18 or 19. You don't think that 2 18-year-olds or 2 19-year-olds can get married? Like, that's weird to me. Like, of course they can. They have the right to consent to that. In America, we understand that they have that right to consent to that. So it's not really a shock that some people may marry without actually having their period yet. And like I said, women who are infertile, like I said, they may not have a period ever in their lives. And you're trying to say that they're not women or trying to invalidate them, and that's just misogynistic. So instead of proving that I believed in pedophilia or that my religion teaches pedophilia, all you have done at this point is prove that you are in concurrence with people who believe in the hadith that a child with a period deserves to be raped and violated, and you do support pedophilia yourself. So that's just the truth. Because, if you think that anyone with a period can be violated, and that's the definition of if someone's a woman or not, you're pedophilic in your idea of thinking that children who get their periods should be raped, and you're misogynistic against women who are infertile. So that's all I have to say. Oh, I wanted to also say one other thing. on intersex people. The Quran specifically talks about the intersex people, and intersex people are specifically spoken about. I misspoke, I think, in my last video. I meant to say that God, it says that God created man, woman, and both. So intersex people are talked about, and many of them do not have periods. So, that's that situation. Um, that's just another example of people who are full-grown, consenting adults who do not have periods. There are different types of people who do not have periods. You don't have to go around trying to say that people who are infertile are not full-grown women. Like, you're very disrespectful. You're misogynistic. And on top of it all, you support children who are fertile and who do have periods being violated sexually by grown adults because they have periods. A period doesn't define whether someone's an adult or if their brain is fully developed to consent to marriage. So that's all I have to say in this video. Come back with a better excuse, because this just made you look not too good, in my opinion. So, yeah, I do not believe in, antiquated ideology and thinking that 12-year-olds should be raped by full-grown adults, or by anyone for that matter. 12-year-olds can't consent to sex. So thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye, guys.